Hello, hello, hello from the Great White North. It was a cold one out there today, bright and sunny, and actually the clouds went really, really black in the late afternoon, but it was a lovely day. I had a great day. I was out most of the day, which is why this is getting posted so late. You know who you are, and we had a great day, and here we are. So, I had promised you that Friday would be something out of the Advent calendar, and so yeah, last night at the end of the video we opened up the rest of the Advent calendar to see all what was inside. And so I've been working hard. The desk is an absolute mess, and this could be a longer video, so I'm going to apologize up front, and I won't waste too much time doing this. But anyhow, I had thought about shaker card, and here we are. So it is a shaker card, and it's made with product from the kit. So this die is from the kit, the stamp is from the kit, this paper is from the kit, the butterfly ephemera is from the kit, and the stencil. That's what's going to take so long, because I did not pre-do it. And I didn't pre-do it because when I started this, I had some serious doubts about the stencil and my placement and how it was going to turn out and everything else. But you know what? In the end, it's kind of cute. It's kind of a little bit all over the place, but it's kind of cute. And it could be cut, I was thinking it could be cut even in a nice circle or a different shape. I opted just for the, this is actually a 4x4 opening, so it's an A2 card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and my opening is 4x4. So I don't have pre-cut pieces. I don't have pre-stenciled pieces. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So grab your cocoa, grab your coffee, and grab your tea, and we'll kind of do this together, and we'll get sort of the same result. The ephemera that came, I only had one butterfly, so I'll be using a bow on the other pack. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And actually, speaking of bows, somewhere here, oh my goodness, there it is. I did have a little bow from the twine that I had not attached. Yeah, I do. Because I was playing with the ephemera, but I might just add that down there just for sport. But anyhow, it's a fun little shaker card, so let's get busy. All right, that bow will have to wait. It is not going to happen now. So the desk is a mess. Why is the desk a mess? The desk is a mess because we have to stencil. So I think what I'm going to do, just because the desk is a mess, look at this. Oh my God, it's a disaster. There are things everywhere. But because I have my stamp set out, and I have my little labels cut, I'm just going to take the opportunity to stamp my label so that I can get rid of two things off my desk. So I'm going to put my Thinking of You, my tiny little Thinking of You, on this label, and let that ink transfer for a second, because there's no second chances here. It's one and done. All right, so we can get rid of this, so I'm going to sneak that away. We can get rid of this, so I'll put that away. And now we have our label. So I have two extra cut labels. That was the official, just in case something went wrong. And so you remember we had all of these lovely dies that came in the Advent calendar. And the tiniest one here, I don't know if you can see that, but the tiniest one is actually, you can't see that through there. The tiniest one is stitched. Where's the camera? There we go. You can see that it's stitched. The rest are not, so I'm not quite sure about that, but that's okay. So we'll get rid of these now. And I'm going to put the twine away as well. If I need to, I can use the bow that I didn't use, and I can get rid of the stamp set. Look at that, looking better already. Okay, so we'll put that aside. So, let's get started. This is, it's tacky. I have a Brother Scan and Cut, and I had purchased the wrong size of feeder sheets for my Scan and Cut. So what I did was I cut it in 4, so I'd have sort of a card-sized piece here. And so I'm going to use it as a sticky mat. And I'm going to put my paper on my sticky mat just to hold it in place while we do all of our stenciling. Now, I didn't clean the stencils. I didn't clean them, so we're just going to play it by ear. I need a 4x4 piece at the end, so I'm just going to put it on the page, and I have a pencil here hiding. So on the stencils, on each of them, where the divot is, there is an etched number. So this here that you see down on my page is number 1. So I'm just going to mark my corners. Look at that. Grabbed my tape. I'm just going to mark my corners so that when I move the stencils, I will know where to put them back. And I'm just going to mark the divot. Okay, so no funny business here. I'm just marking it because I will be trimming down this piece. But for now, there is my stencil. So I jotted down my colors that I used. So I'm going to start off with Flirty Flamingo. And I have my brush here. Just trying to move this. Yes, folks, this is a bit of a disaster tonight. You know, the more involved you get here. So I was using this side piece here. As you can see, it's very colorful. It's really, really nice. So when I started with my brushes, I don't wash my brushes after each use. And so I have this wonderful cup of brushes. I do try and keep them for different colors. And so I kind of try to remove, like here you can see it's a lighter pink than my Flirty Flamingo, but whatever. So I try and remove that. So I'm just going to start by adding my Flirty Flamingo, and I tend to have a heavy hand, so no two turn out the same, right? So one will be, you know, I think my other one's actually a bit lighter. I'm trying to go a little bit faster because I know how long this card took me to make, so I'm trying to step it up a bit so that I can get through this for you. But so I tend to hold it like this. It gives me control with the head. I used to kind of just hold it out here and do this, and I really, first of all, I was pressing a lot harder on the brush because I wasn't getting what I wanted, and I just found I didn't have the control. So we're going this way and that way, clockwise and counterclockwise, and it's not 100%, but it works. All right, Flirty Flamingo done. I'm going to pop that brush down there. Now, I did have a cloth, so I'm just going to wipe this down a bit. All right, not cleaned, but better. So we flip that up to see what we've got underneath, and it's just just a weird design like that. And I was going, okay, well, there you go. That's a design. So we're kind of done with Flirty Flamingo, I think. So I'll put that away too. Next, so the 2 is etched up there. And I'm going to place that, the same little divot up there, meet my little corners, so if it's a little bit crooked, but I placed it where it should be, then it should work. And you see how it doesn't really line up? And I sort of thought it should, and wasn't overly thrilled with this, and I thought, well, this is just strange. So we're going to roll with it. So our next color was Daffodil Delight. And I believe I used this one again, so we won't put this one away, but we'll go with our Daffodil Delight. So yellow on top of pink, it gives you a little bit of a orange kind of thing. And of course, where the white spots are, we get our yellow coming through. So I tell you, I wasn't feeling it yet. And as you go through this with me, you tell me what you think, because I've worked with other stencils before, and this one just was a little bit different, but you know, the end result was really nice, so I can't really complain. So I'm going to give this one a bit of a wipe down. Whoopsie, and I already moved it, so I don't want to get it on white spot where I don't need it. So see, this isn't quite, I fussed with it the first time a little bit more and tried to align it a little bit better. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. But anyway, you'll see it does come together. It's kind of weird. This was the one that threw me. So this is stencil number 3. And if we put stencil number 3 in the corners, just like we did the other ones, you'll see that, whoopsie, just a minute, I will show you. I will show you once I get my tape secure. You'll see that okay, I'm just going to use some extra little pieces that I have here to hold it in place. So you'll see that the leaves, they're kind of random. They're kind of random, and I thought, well, how is that supposed to work? The leaves, they're not even really near the flowers. Like, what is going on here? So that's okay. I thought, all right, let's roll with it. Maybe it's abstract art. Who really knows? But let's roll with it. So here's my green brush. And I'm just tapping off in case there's excess, because I don't want to blotch on my stencil. So I'm just going to put my green in there. I'm trying to do it a bit lighter because I know that I'm going to be doing 2 layers of old olive on this stencil. So I don't want it to be too dark. Okay, so that's really it for this stencil. And watch when we take this off. Now, how ridiculous does that look? It's just like very sort of, I don't know, like nothing's really matching. It's just kind of, you know, one's over here, one's over there. Are they supposed to touch? What's going on? And here's where the magic happens, because this just got me. All right, so let's get our tape in place. And you watch this. Now, I used 3 different colors on this layer, so I have some pieces of masking tape here. So this time I'm going to start with the yellow. So I'm just going to do, there's some flower centers that have yellow. So I'm just going to try and cover. I see that because I'm reusing my masking tape that it's going to be a little bit difficult, and so we're just going to have to do this a little bit at a time. Okay, so I'm going to put my green away for now, and I'm going to break out the yellow. So with the yellow, I really just want to hit some of these flower centers. So there's one there, there's one there. This one, let's try and block that branch, although I don't know that I'll have that much luck. There's a little center there, there's a tiny flower there. And then there is this one over here. Okay, I think that's it for my yellow. All right, say goodnight to Daffodil Delight. And another brush back in the cup. All right, now I'm going to, I added some pecan pie for my stems. So this is where I want to block off my greenery from getting colored. So I'm going to try and do this. We're going to see how it works with my big fat fingers in your way. So there is a stem here that I am trying to color without coloring the green leaves that I haven't done yet. So this one here. Alright, so I apologize for the lack of showing you what's going on my desktop here, because I really got to get those branches without getting the leaves. And then there's another branch there, and we don't want to get that flower center. So let's see how much ink we have on the brush, so it can just get in here. A little bit of awkward positioning. Again, I'm trying to avoid the leaves. All right. I'm not sure how that worked. Okay. So say goodbye to pecan pie. And then our final color, see how it's starting to come together though? It surprised me, I'll tell you that. So our final color, I'm breaking out the old olive again. So I only used 4 colors. It's never too good to go crazy with a ton of colors. I don't know if you've read my bio somewhere, but my coloring style is a mix of Thomas Kinkade and Van Gogh. It's like these weird kinda, because I can't draw worth a darn, so bless Stampin' Up! And all the wonderful stamps and dies that they make. But I would be very, what comes to mind is that one picture, and unfortunately I don't know the name of it, but it's the one where the face is sort of in multiple pieces. And Thomas Kinkade does all the beautiful English gardens, florals in so many colors it would take your breath away. So I laugh about how my style is sort of a combination between the two, because sometimes it's just a hot mess and you have to stop, look at what you're doing, reflect, and go, that is not what I had hoped to do. All right. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? It really somehow comes together in the end. I don't know. What can I say? My stencil may have been a bit off. I'm not really sure. But, so what I'm going to do now is kind of clear off the desk a bit, make it look suitable again. And I'm just going to erase these lines. If I had somewhere in that special place, you know how you put things in a special place, I have one of those beautiful white rubber erasers that do an amazing job. Not like this red rubber, but anyway, all right. I'm not going to foof it till I get it off the sticky mat, or all that will stay. So here's my sticky mat, and we're just going to roll it a bit to be able to lift this off. Otherwise, you risk totally damaging your paper. And this one is, oh, stop it. There we go. All right. So let's put our sticky mat aside. And see, you wonder all what's on my desk. Like, I have all these little treasures hidden here. All right. So I have my wonderful piece here. So I'm going to take this now and cut it down to 4 by 4. So I'm going to play with it a little bit to make sure that I have enough of a border on each side. Like if I did that, that sort of works. That sort of works. Okay, so that's 4 by 4. What have I got? Okay, so I can take a little bit off of here, and to make it 4 inches, I can take a bit more off of there. Okay, so we've gotten rid of the excess paper, and so now this is what I have. Now I know there's still some ink there, but that'll get covered, don't you worry. So besides our wonderful dimensionals, Stampin' Up! Has these long strips, which I'm going to use for this. So I'm just going to put this right on the edge of my paper and trim as I go. And what this will do, it's going to hold in all the little shaker bits that I'm going to put in the middle. So let's just keep going around the edge. And it's Friday night, so if you're watching me, your week's come to an end, but you're still awake. It's late. I have my last pre-Christmas fair tomorrow in Milton, if you want to come out and see me. So we're almost there. One more little corner. And let's put that right in there. Kind of squish it in there. Technical term. All right, so there is our the design that will be in the back of our window for the shaker card. So I'm going to go into, so I have all the bits from the Advent calendar in this little container here. So I've got the paper and the ropes and the stickers, and most importantly, I'm just going to pop these in here. I don't know if that's going to fit. I don't know. Ooh, yes, yay! All right, most importantly, I've got the little shaker bits. So we're just going to pop some in there. Usually just, I don't know. It depends. I like these better. These bigger ones, I'm going to add a couple, but I'm not going to add as much as I did of the other. Just a little bit to help with movement. Alright, make sure they're closed, otherwise you know what's going to happen. They're just going to spill everywhere. And I'm going to have a carpet of shaker bits. So now I'm sort of in a dangerous little spot here because you don't want to go wee-hee, you don't want anything to stick to your sweater or arm so that it ends up lifting. And again, shaker bits a la floor. So I'm just going to be a little bit careful as I peel off the backing on this. Aha! That's what happens when you have two pieces. It's sort of like, remember you had two pieces there, girl? Alright, I do. So I already have my 4x4 window sheet here. Okay, it's bigger than 4x4, so let's just trim that up a bit because I don't want to end up with a problem of having to trim it once it's already secure. So that was about a 1/2 inch too long. Good spot, Myra. Alright, here we are. Here's my 4x4 window. And pretty much have one go at this, so let's hope it works. I meant to say at the beginning. Let's see how many bloopers you can count in this video. Alright. There we go. Shaker City, man. Shaker City. We got the beginnings going here. Okay, so that's our focal point. Doesn't look like much yet, does it? Alright. There's more magic to come. Or should I say more challenge to come. So I know I always say that I like a card with a white edge. This time I'm not going to do that. And one of the reasons I'm not going to do that is because the card itself is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if it's already 4 1/4, and if I wanted a white edge, you would end up seeing this on the side of the card, and I don't want that. I want you to see just the paper. So I'm going to cut the paper to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's going to be the full sheet of the front. So quickly, 4 1/4 by 5, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right. Okay, so it fits the front of my card. But what I'm going to do now, and there might be an easier way to do this, I'm really not sure. But for today, this is what I'm doing. So I am going to cut open a window of a little less than 4 by 4. So because my card is already 4 1/4, so I am going to leave 1/4 inch on each side. So my width of my window is just going to be 375. So I'm just going to do that here. Okay. What the heck was that? Something was on the road. We had coyotes around here this morning. I have a rather large dog. He's 130 pounds. And he stepped out the front door and immediately started to take off, which I think I twisted my knee a bit, but I'm okay. All right, I just did that so I'd know how my width is, okay? So now I'm looking for my 4 inches. I just want to, and I'm trying to determine my border up here and my border down there, okay? So I'm just sort of looking at how do I want that spaced? Where do I want the majority of my border? So if I want like that would sort of go there, right? Okay, so if I did that there, apologies, I'm just trying to get straight here. See, and I didn't want to exactly do this off camera because I just wanted you to see the way I did it, which is probably the long way, but okay, that line was crooked. Okay, that's fine. I just did some pencil lines so that I would have a rough idea. And now I'm just going to use my straight edge to make sure that my lines are straight. So it's a bit finicky. Let's just go with that. It is very finicky. It's not a bit finicky, it's very finicky. All right, so we're gonna, and just wait. It gets finickier. All right. So I'm gonna put that one inside the paper. All right. So let's find our 4 by 4. You know, every night I bring out this ruler with you, and every night I go, why do I use that ruler? I cannot see the writing on that ruler. So I have this really nifty little one here that I don't know if that works for you, but it certainly works much better for me. All right, so where is my 1, 2, 3 and a half? All right, so what have we got there? We got a centimeter over there. This ruler isn't much better, I'm going to be honest with you. And if I had a centimeter here, it would be about there. All right. So let's just... I'm overthinking this now, I can tell you that. All right. So if I took my thing here, I need to know how big. So if I go from side to side, if I look at it this way, so using this line here and this line here, that's fine. I would get my my width that I want. But then if I went here, I almost want to go up here. Okay, if I use that top line, and if I went here, sorry, I drew on the all right, people, we're just going to go with it. We're going to make some mental adjustments as we go. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my straight edge and I'm just going to cut my paper. And we'll just see how this works. You'll see, it'll be fine. So I started to tell you about the coyote this morning. So My dog, who's very, very friendly and looks forward to his playmates in the morning, thought that the coyote was one of his buddies. So we live on a side street, and there's more of a main, like it's not a main street, but it's sort of like the main kind of street in the area. And the coyote was headed for the park. And so my dog thought, I'm coming, wait for me. And he started to go, and I had to dig my heels in and say, I don't think so. He's not one of your buddies. Like, let's just hang back. And, but of course, stupid me, I took him to the park anyway. The coyote was gone. And he likes to track. So then he started to track the coyote's scent. And, I have this awful feeling that I cut this bigger than 4x4. But let's see. Anyway, he started to track the coyote, and then as I was coming out of the park, I met this couple that I see most every morning and wanted to warn them about the coyote. And that looks bigger than 4x4. Son of a biscuit box, that is bigger than 4x4. Okay. So we're going to improvise a little bit here because we're not going to use that paper. So remember I said how many FUBARs we were going to get done tonight? Because I'm tired, and this is what happens when I should have pre-cut it so that I didn't run into this on camera. But that's okay. That's okay, because you know what? I'm sure we can do something and create a little bit of a edge for our label. Let's see if we have, I'm hoping I still have a piece of the pink left. There was this lovely pink in here. I don't know if I used it all on one of the previous cards. No, here's the pink. Look at that. Isn't that just perfect? All right. So he decided that he was wanting to take off after this coyote. So I stopped to talk to this couple and warn them about the coyote. And all of a sudden, while we're standing there talking, my dog starts complaining or vocalizing, and it's like, what is going on? And we turn around, and isn't the coyote just standing right behind us? Well, not quite right behind us, but reasonably right behind us. So that we sort of thought, well, maybe we should move along and get on our way. I think this is the direction the coyote wants to go. So we'll just give him some space. And all right, so you see what I'm doing? I did cut it too big, but never mind. We're going to put this over there, and we're going to take our little label and we're going to center it there, and it's going to look lovely. Different but lovely. Okay? So what can I say? We're just going with it. We're just going with it. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I think I've told you this really truly was not the year for me to be doing this. There's a whole lot of things going on, and I love this. I love the kind of freedom that it gives me not to have to think about life's daily troubles. So that is really quite nice. But on the flip side, you know when you're doing a FUBAR, you see it coming and you go, wait, not yet, no. And it happens. So, and now that I've removed all this tape, and I'm going to have exposed tape on here, I'm going to go, wait, because that was really kind of dumb too, but anyway. All right, we're over our half an hour. I am so sorry, but wait, don't go. We have to finish this. We're like almost there. Had I not made the wrong cut, we would have been fine. It would have been lovely. But I made the wrong cut and we ended up with a different card, which in and of itself is not so bad. So if you are the lucky recipient of this card, you'll go, haha, I know exactly which card this is. This is the one that she made a boo-boo and had to fix up. So see what I mean? My tape is underneath, but it's on the glass surface, so that's fine. Now, this is another, oh, no, I didn't even do that yet. We need to put, so we have our shaker element, which is already raised, but now the lower part of the card and the upper part of the card, they won't be raised unless we raise them. So I'm going to put in more of the foam to sort of, you know, do that Playtex baraffing, lift and separate here. And I want to leave room, and I should have done this first actually. So let's do it now. I want to put some tape around the inside edge of my paper so that it glues down onto my window. So that when the shaker card snugs in there, it grabs onto the tape. So I have some there, so that's not a problem. And let's just put some down each of the edges here. Alright. And we'll go back to our foam. So I am still trying to raise the bottom half of the card. Now I don't put it all the way to the edge because again, I don't want you to see the foam when you're looking at the card. I just want you to see, I just want it to be raised and it's sort of like, ooh, what's in there? I'm just going to use up this little piece and tuck it in there. All right. So I didn't put any on the sides. I don't think it needs it because it's only like 1/4 inch, so it's not a big deal. All right, I'm going. We're going to put this little puppy together and just a couple embellishments and I'll be done. Can you hang in there? It's Friday night. We're hanging together. Okay, so all my sticky is exposed now. All critical moments here. So my card is that way. I don't know if I should do this all at once or not. All right, I'm going to stand up here because I want to get the top part of this paper right to the edge, and I don't want it to really stick anywhere else yet. So we're going to put that right up to the edge. And then, while it's still a little bit lifted, and unstick it from my fingers, get this in there. Get this in there. You're in there. Yay! Alright. Crises averted, people. Crises averted. We're good to go. We're good to go. Almost. I went a little bit crooked down at this end. Okay, it hasn't quite tacked down yet, so I'm going to lift it and see if I can straighten it a bit. And you know what? If I can't, You know what I'm going to do? There's a little bit of a white edge here. I'm just going to trim the bottom of the card and straighten it out that way. All these wonderful tricks you're learning. So, this card, we're going to finish it off. So I have my verse here on this one, but because I needed to do a little medical emergency there, so now I have my bow. I'm going to add my bow up into the corner. Just so there's a little bit of an embellishment. It ties in with the pink down below. And if I want to, I can add my little twine bow here. This was the same twine that came in the Advent calendar as well. Trim off some edges and I can add that there with a glue dot. Let's get a glue dot here. So we're going to stick that glue dot behind there. Oh dear. All right. Yay. And believe me, I'm thinking of you and thanking you for having stuck with me. And I think in the end, we ended up with 2 great shaker cards. You'll see the intensity of the color on both of them is just a little bit different, so it's really the pressure that you put on your brush. But they're 2 cute little cards, and I'll be thinking of you and thanking you for sticking with me while we got through this. A little bit over time, but I hope you have a great night. Thanks very much.